Hello again, YouTube. This is Andy again with another tool video. Hope you guys like these. I got something interesting I'd like to share. So, in my work, I use these types of hex bits for various things. And what I've been noticing, something I don't like, is this. When you go to buy whatever size that you want, for example, this is a Proto, this is a 3/16. Do you see how they've necked down the tip here? So the problem that I've found with these, and perhaps you have too, is that when you go to address a fastener with this size, with a 3/16, this oversized shank here, where it's necked down, doesn't fit into the recess where the fastener is. Many companies are going to this style. I don't know why. Maybe they think it's stronger. Maybe they have data that suggests it's stronger. But I try to avoid these. I really try to avoid these because of that issue. As you can see, they're not longer. I mean, this is a Snap-on right next to it, and they're approximately the same length. The Snap-on might be just slightly longer, but not much at all. But the difference is, and this is the same size. So there it is, 3/16. And as you can see, that's there's no necked down portion, doesn't taper off. And this will go where that will not. So if you have a recessed fastener, this is what you're looking for. So I hope this kind of helps someone if you're thinking of buying some of these hex bit sockets. Think about when you see these tools that are necked down like this. Think about that. If you get a recessed fastener and it's in a smaller hole, that's just say it's a socket head cap screw that has, say, a 3/16 head on it, odds are you might not be able to fit this in the recess where that fastener is. So you'd have to use one of these. Now these up here that I have, these are, as you can see, these are not neck down either, but these are 3/8 drive where these are quarter drive. This is an Armstrong. Armstrong still seems to make the non-necked down style. They're made in USA. I've never had problems. Something else I prefer on many of these is the hex screw. Now, you might ask why, and that's because you can take this out. You can take this hex portion out of this socket very easily. You just need this tool, loosen it up, take that out, and you can put in there whatever length you want. So in this case, this is a 9/64. So let's say I needed one longer like this. I could literally take this set screw out and I could take the, an L style hex key, cut the L off, and then put that in here and have a longer hex bit socket, just by taking this tool out. Now, these aren't permanently affixed. You can take, I don't know if you can see in there, let me get a work light. You can take a punch. See how you can see the back of the hex bit in there? You can take a punch and you can punch this hex out. So if you do break it, that's how you replace it. Take the punch, put it in here, you brace the socket, and then you punch the hex out of the socket, and then you can put a new one in there. But if you're working on something, you need to get a tool, quickly, a punch and a hammer, and then maybe putting this in a vise or on another socket or something isn't necessarily as convenient as, say, taking the set screw out. So that's why I prefer this style. Not that I don't like these. I like these just as well. The most important part is I don't like this. I don't like this neck down feature. But yeah, that's another thing I wanted to point out with these. This is a Carlyle. This is the Napa brand. These are made in Taiwan. Typically the tools I prefer are usually USA, but there's been some pretty good quality stuff coming out of Taiwan these days. And anybody that's familiar with Buffalo tools or some of the yesteryear Taiwanese tools, You would never think, you'd be saying something like that, that Taiwan is making some good tools, and this is an example of said tool. I bought this to try it. I've been hearing guys say real good things about them, and I wanted to try it, and it wasn't particularly expensive. Far less expensive than a Snap-on, as you can imagine, but very reasonably priced compared to the any Armstrong or any Proto. And as you can see, the length of these is very nice. You know, they're on par. You know, it might be just a little bit longer, but they're very much on par with the USA tools. In fact, if you see the chamfer on the Carlyle right here versus the Armstrong, the chamfer is actually nicer on this tool. And it's this little chamfer right here on that edge. See how sharp this edge here is versus this one? So when you go to put that into a fastener, this Carlyle is going to go in a little easier. Now you'll be able to get both of these in there without a problem, but this chamfer is a very nice feature to have on these types of tools. And I've been noticing that these Carlyles are very nice. They also carry, this is an extra long. So this is a Proto. This happens to be an eighth inch, but as you can see, this is really, really long. It's a very long one, and Carlyle makes these in really long ones too. And none of them are neck down, they're just like this. They have the same shank all through the whole length of the tool, whole length of the bit. Thumbs up to Carlyle. I've also been checking these. I've been checking with a calipers to see what tolerances these have compared to other tools. And maybe we'll do that right now. I'll prove it to you that these the tolerances on this is very nice. And I had another hex bit socket set that was made in Taiwan or China or something. I don't even know where. But I was rounding out fasteners, and I was noticing that when I used the USA tool, I didn't have that problem. So I got the measurement tool out, and I measured the tolerances around the flats of the tool, and I found that the tool I was using was inferior. The tolerances were very bad. So then that's why I ordered the Protos. I didn't know that they were going to be neck down like this. So after that, I ordered the Snap-ons because I know they don't neck theirs down. Theirs are full length, same size. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get, this Carlyle is a 532. This is a common size that I use at work and at home. I'm going to get a 532. I'll be right back. We'll measure that. Okay, so here's another Armstrong 532. I've had really good luck with these. I don't believe these are neck down at all. I'm just going to wipe it off. So what we're going to do is always clean your jaws. You see that? So 156. Number 2. On the money, 156. And the third one, 155 and a half maybe. So the tolerances on this are really good. That's made in USA. This is good tool steel. This is high quality stuff. I found this to be very good too. What's that read? 156. 156. And 156. So you see the tolerances on this tool are actually better, slightly better than this one. And there's my indicator back on 0. There it is. It's back on 0. We're closed up. So that's what I found, guys. These Carlyle tools. And the 532 was one I changed on one of those Taiwanese or Chinese. I think they were made in Taiwan. They weren't Carlyle's. They were another brand. I don't remember the name of the brand. They might have been Titans or something like that. But they were an overseas brand. And I thought they were fine at first until I started rounding out these fasteners. They were camming out the hex portion of them and was ruining them. Kept having to replace them. And I found out that the tolerances on the tool were bad. So I went to these. In the meantime, I've heard people talking about these Carlyles, so I bought a couple of them. And I checked the tolerances on them. And specifically the 532. This was the size that I was damaging fasteners with. So that's why I got this one. And when I measured it, as you can see, it specs out. Tolerances are there. The quality is there. So I hope I didn't ramble on with this video. We initially wanted to talk about how they neck these down with some of the manufacturers, even the USA manufacturers. So I prefer to buy them not neck down. And I do like to have some of the longer options. You never know when you're going to need one of these. Just as a recap, the set screw, very handy to have if you're wanting to change that bit out for a longer one, so you don't have to buy another one. Buy one socket, and then you can buy another set of L hex keys that are long, cut the L portion off of them, and use it in a longer configuration. Or shorter. You could cut that down real stubby and make it real small if you wanted to, whatever you needed. So that's my video. I hope you guys liked this. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up. If you did not like it, give me a thumbs down. Please like, subscribe, and definitely leave a comment below. If you like these types of tool videos, if you want me to do another one, I sure would. I like talking about tools, and I'm sure you guys do too. But thanks for tuning in.